يا ربي صل وسلم اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه. Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah, our gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having able us to be here on this very blessed Thursday evening in a state of good health and iman. For we could be anywhere else, but Allah has destined and allowed us to be here with His power and His mercy, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, there's a very beautiful story. Some of you might have heard this before. There was once a young cub, that means a lion's baby, young cub, was lost from his mother, from the lioness mother. And the young cub found its way to a group of goats or sheep. And having no one to follow, so he became family, like Ahl with the sheep. And he grew up with the sheep until he became a big lion himself. But the difference is, instead of roaring, he bled, just like the sheep. He ate like the sheep, he lived like the sheep, he slept like the sheep, everything like the sheep. And basically he becomes a sheep. He sees himself or identifies himself as a sheep. After a long period of time, this flock of sheep, they walk, they graze, etc. And then happened a lion to pounce, wanted to eat all the sheep. When the lion attacked, he saw all the sheep running, including a lion as well. So he was perplexed. Why is this lion running away from me? He doesn't get it. So instead of trying to go for the prey, now he goes for what is supposed to be the hunter. So he chased after the lion, and then he saw fear in the lion that he was chasing, and he is a lion himself. He was like, how can you be afraid? He said, well, you're going to eat me. How am I going to eat you? You're me. I'm not you. I'm them. This carry on. So this lion, who is a real lion, brought this sheep lion through the river, pulled him, and he says, look into the river and look at me. For that moment, what happened was the sheep kind of awoke him. He woke up and he realized that he's not a sheep. The lion that thought he was a sheep, he's no longer a sheep. He started to see his real self. Of course, we have heard this story 1,000 times. But what does it really mean? All of us have that lion. We know. The story goes, you have to look at your real self, and then you know yourself, and you have the lion within. But the lion that is thinking that it is a sheep, that's all of us. That is us in the alam of nafsul amara bisu. When we are full of our waswas. Why the sheep? Because the sheep thinks like the herd. If the herd is filled with anxiousness, the herd is worried, the sheep follows the mentality of the herd. But the Sufi does not follow the mentality of the herd. The Sufi is one who takes a step back. And when you take a step back, you try to overcome your nafsul ammara bisu. So what is the herd of the sheep? They represent your waswasa. They represent your fear. The herd of the sheep also represents your laziness, kaslan, not wanting to be awakened. We can be in zikr, we can be in prayer, we can be doing all of the fundamentals, but yet we can still be like sheep, sleeping in our prayer, sleeping in our zikr, sleeping in our whatever amal that we do. So we will never be awakened. The lion that chases the group of the sheep, well, that is the sheikh. The rapport with the Shaykh is not always going to be one that is comfortable. The process is the process of awakening, a process of constantly realizing that we need to wake up. But the Shaykh does not do it with his own power. The Shaykh would bring you to the river. And then the Shaykh would ask you to look into the river. What is the river? And that river is none other than your heart. That flows from Sayyidina Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The duty of the Shaykh is just to ask you to look at the pure water, and when you look, you start to move away from your anxiety, you move away from all of your laziness, you move away from all of your waswasa, and you start to realize in the state of purity. That's what the Shaykh is supposed to do. But if we don't want to look at the river, the Shaykh will still have to pull you to the river. That's it. No amount of dhikr, no amount of ibadah, no amount of anything will bring as much fruit unless and until we awaken to the real image of the self. In the mirror of Sayyidina Rasul. But what's beautiful is the lion does not recognize itself in the mirror. The lion recognizes itself through the image of the Shaykh in the mirror. This is the importance of the lineage. Prophet is so pure, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The light of Rasul is so pure, and that's why he says, look at any one of my companions, for they are like guiding stars, and you should be guided to me. And this continues until the end of time. Of course, we're not even close to the dust of the companions, but we hope that this light continues to all of us. Because Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam's light is so pure, then we start to realize ourselves. So it's beautiful. You realize yourself through the tasawwur, through the connection with the Shaykh, but in the mirror of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then the journey begins. The journey does not begin when you take bay'ah. The journey does not begin even if you have taken bay'ah for 10 years or 20 years. The journey begins when you start to look at the mirror. And this goes back to the saying of the Holy Prophet, "Man arafa nafsahu faqad arafa rabbahu." For whoso knows themselves, they will know their Lord. So it is not how the Shaykh looks, but it is how the Shaykh makes you look. That is the duty of irshad. But when you see Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right, through irshad, you see Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Nur Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then the ego disappears. That's why sometimes when we come for dhikr, we don't feel the dhikr because we're still not losing ourselves in dhikr. We're still who we are. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And that's why we don't understand dhikr, Allah's name. So we're just like doing dhikr, but except that we're not looking at mirror when we do the dhikr. What we're doing? We're running with the sheep while we're making the dhikr. The sheep only knows fear. Whereas the lion knows what? Courage and its real self. And Rasul. And that's why even in, you look at, all these signs, the lion is the king of the jungle. Even in the, not that we ascribe to it, the zodiac signs is the largest one. And the zodiac sign for the lion is placed where? In the heart. It's a placement for all the zodiac signs. Not that we're into it. I'm just telling you the importance of this figure, the lion, the courage that the lion has. Without this courage of wanting to look at the mirror, nothing else, the lion dares to look at the mirror of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not the lion is king because he can roar loudly or he can kill. The hyenas kill just as well, the tigers as well. There are many other animals of prey, but the lion, they know the wisdom the lion has. So the duty of us making dhikr every Thursday we come is to move away from all of the shit outside and to come here to look at the clarity and the purity we have within ourselves. But we will not get the benefit if we bring whatever the ships are outside, the anxiety outside, into this halaqah of dhikr. When we come here, we are with that group of lions. Although you think you're not. Just like how the lion thinks it is a sheep when it is with the sheep. When you are sitting with lions, you become what? Lions as well. Not me, the silsila. And this is what zikr is about as a community. All of us are going through a lot of problems outside. Spiritual, dunya, etc. We're feeling empty, feeling lost. The idea of zikr is not to make it technical. The purpose of zikr is to bring you out to see your real self and then go back home. After that, don't behave like a sheep. But behave like the lion that is wise and it knows how to carry itself. Every week, you come in, you go out, you're supposed to become what? Stronger. If you're not feeling so, then recheck. How is my connection? If the connection is low, start to do a lot of salawat on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi Muhammad as many times as you can. He is the lion of all lions. That's why he has Asadullah al-Ghalib, Hadrat Ali ibn Abi Talib, Karamallah ta'ala wajhu. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is one, he himself is equivalent to the strength of 40 men. Subhanallah. You're looking into that mirror. If you're looking into that mirror, how can you come out weak? This is not a motivational talk, this is Iman. People with Iman would have this. No matter how heavy the dunya is, it is around them. The heaviness of dunya is around them, but not within them. The lion realizes this. That's why he's the king of the jungle. Means what? He is the king of all the nafsu. To keep the purity of his akal and his ruh and his heart clean. The lion is king because he kept the water clean. He did not bring to see the lion in a murky water, but in a clear river water. Which means that every dhikr we come in, we must make sure that our minds are clear, our heart is clear, our ruh is clear, we go out. If it is not clear, redo it again. If we are tired, we need to really look at ourselves. Do we bring the weight of dunya into our dhikr? The problem is not the mind, but the problem is the heart, which is lazy. The heart is not awakened. Just like the lion who thinks he is a sheep. So fellow seekers, murideens, muhibbins, this Thursday is a day that all of our du'as are accepted, inshaAllah. Know that you are connected to a silsila that is full of lions, full of mashayikh that are strong, full of mashayikh whose goal is only one, yani to make sure that they dissolve in the wonders of Allah. Not just to be close to Allah, but to be dissolved, finish. Just like the lion who dissolved himself when he saw his real self. All of his waswas, all of his laziness, all of his fear, everything dissolved when he saw the holy light of the Prophet. The goal of the dhikr is to bring you there. That is the goal of the silsila. In this day and age, there are many who do not agree with the way that we're doing our work today. Many, thousands, are waiting to see the Khanqah close. Be them scholars, be them people, government, everything. We dare say. Why? Because we're preaching things about what? About only Allah exists. But today, they want to know that besides Allah, also this exists, that exists, everything exists. When teaching becomes too easy, it becomes problematic for some people. But here we're not asking for anything. We're asking you to realize the nur of the Prophet within you. And for many people, they say in Islam there is no Nur Muhammad. Cherish this Thursday zikr that we have. Preserve it. Preserve your daily zikr and preserve your bay'ah, and it will come with you as lions walking in this world full of ships which are full of anxiety. Not in a manner that you're out to be rough or to show you're tough in an egoistic way, no. But so that you can tread gently on this earth without causing any harm to others, because when people do things to you, you only reply them with salam. Don't think people who reply with salam, the salam is no. The salam that comes from Allah would repel all of the troubles in your dunya. The salam that comes from your Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam will take away all of the darkness within ourselves. The salam that comes from the awliya Allah as-salihin will make sure that we stand upright and worship Allah and only Allah. This is the story of the lion who thinks he is a sheep. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this blessed night make us remember Him, inshallah, in our minds, in our body, in our soul, in our hearts. May our body be the carrying the lafzul jalala of alif lam lam ha. May our ruh always make the dhikr of Who. May our goal be Who. May our embodiment be the way of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May the way always be protected for us. May our family be protected with the way that we are in. May our household be protected with the barakah of the silsila. May our children be the children of awliya Allah salihin. May their children be the children of awliya Allah salihin. May this community be the community full of people who are full of forbearing and barakah, inshallah. May the community be full of people who, when they walk on this earth, will bring barakah from the sky and bring rizqi out from the earth, inshallah, and not bring bala down, inshallah. May this community be the community of people who are full of iman, inshallah, whose hearts are full of nur, inshallah. May we always walk on the path of Sultan Awliya Shaykh Abdul Qadir Al-Jilani Al-Hussein Al-Husseini through the way of Habibiyya, inshallah, with the barakah of Wajhiyya, inshallah, with the nur of Anwariyya, inshallah, until we reach the perfection of Ihsaniyya, inshallah. Ameen, Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. May Allah protect this Jama'ah, inshallah, the Jama'ah of this Jama'ah, inshallah, of the Jama'ah until the end of times, inshallah. May Allah protect all of the future work that we're doing, inshallah. All of those who are performing Hajj, inshallah. May Allah bless the Hujjaj, inshallah. Protect their family, inshallah. Preserve their mal, inshallah. Accept their Hajj, inshallah. Give them Hajj Mabrura, inshallah. May all of those who are heading towards Ka'batullah, may they having only the focus of Wajhullah. And when they return as Habibullah, inshallah. Ameen, Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. All good is from Allah and the Rasul. If not, it is from my own self. I seek your forgiveness, inshallah, until we meet again next Thursday. Just announcement, inshallah. There is still the Umrah class which is going on this Saturday. So if you are attending, please come. All of the Umrah registration is already closed. There's no more slot because the flight is already full, just to let you know. And also, if you have any queries or anything about Umrah, for those who have already registered, please refer them to the center's number, inshallah. And if you have any questions about the payment, please let us know so that we can settle everything else. This Friday or Saturday, we're expected to get some of the bags. So I will distribute some first, step by step lah. So for if you're coming this Saturday, if we have enough bags, we'll distribute all. If not, only part of it, inshallah. Don't worry, there's more coming from Ustaz Fahad. We'll be bringing over, inshallah. Also on the 2nd of July, I need a few more brothers. Am I right? Everyone is okay. 2nd of July, Sis Nazima is inviting everybody to her house for Maulid, inshallah. So everybody can come. If you're coming, please, we'll do a roster like we do, so that she can also prepare for food, inshallah. And also, so that's the invitation lah. The last time I only asked for the guys, so only got 2 or 3. So I just got confirmation that semua dijemput hadir, inshallah. Maulid di rumah Sis Nazima. So semua dipersilakan hadir. Saturday morning, 2nd of July, 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, inshallah. Chai Chi, okay, so if you're free, Chai Chi, inshallah. And then after that, for Hari Raya Haji, okay, next Thursday is the 1st of Zulqaidah, inshallah, Thursday after Maghrib. So we'll do after Maghrib some of the Sunnah prayers as prescribed by Mashaykhin, by Sheikh Muhammad Hawziwallah, to welcome the Zulqaidah next Thursday, inshallah. And then after that, on the 9th of Hari Arafah, 9th of apa tu? Saturday. Hari Arafah is Saturday. Okay, Saturday after Asar we'll be having our Yawm al-Arafah as well. I think there might be Sunnah prayers. Saya akan confirm timing untuk doa Hari Arafah, inshallah. So for those who are not going Arafah, we'll make our Arafah here, inshallah. Why? Because it is the day that all of your du'as will be accepted. So don't make that day empty wherever you are at. Okay. Number one. And then on the 10th is the Gyar. So the next day, which is Eid, the 10th of Zulqaidah, is Gyar Sharif. We would be having majlis here. I'll confirm with the majlis team soon, and we'll send out the update soon as well. So that's the updates I want to let all of you know, inshallah. Besides that, I see all of you soon. We'll pray our Isha. Please don't forget your tabarruk if you're already leaving. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.